Everyone, today we are going to be comparing California Proposition 227 with Proposition 58. Now, Proposition 227, its goals was to outlaw bilingualism in the classroom, whereas Proposition 58's goal is to reintroduce bilingualism in the classroom. So we're going to dive in and select a few lines and analyze. So starting off with Proposition 227, Article 1, Section 308. The English language is the national public language of the United States of America and the state of California. It is spoken by the vast majority of California residents and is also the leading world language for science, technology, international business, thereby being the language of economic opportunity. Now, in this line, it is talking about how the English language can be viewed as a resource because behind the language itself, there are ideologies. Now, this connects to a concept discussed in Language Policy as Right and Resource book chapter by Garcia, where it is talking about how the topics of migration and economics are intertwined with language and how it provides itself as a resource. Now, moving on, it says that the public schools of California currently do a poor job of educating immigrant children, wasting financial resources on costly experimental language programs whose failure over the past 2 decades is demonstrated by the high current dropout rates and low literacy levels of many immigrant children. All children in California public schools shall be taught English by being taught in English. In particular, this shall require that all children be placed in English language classrooms. And in this instance, we can see that young children would only learn the language of English by being instructed by teachers in the language of English, not having any introduction of any native languages that they speak. Now, moving on to Proposition 58, it says in Section 1, Section 1, Clause M, a large body of academic research, a large body of research has demonstrated the cognitive, economic, and long-term academic benefits of multilingualism and multiliteracy. Now, as we can see in Garcia's book chapter titled Bilingualism and Translingualism, it shows a lot of research demonstrations demonstrating that bilingual children actually perform better academically than monolingual children because of different aspects that they use through bilingualism, such as code switching, among other topics. Moving on in Section 1, Clause F, it says California has natural reserve of the world's largest languages, including English, Mandarin, and Spanish, which are critical to the state's economic, trade, and diplomatic efforts. Now, as we can see here, again, the topic of English as a language is described as a resource again, but in this instance, it is showing how bilingualism is a positive aspect and how it can promote language as a resource. Moving on in Section G, it says California has a unique opportunity to provide all parents with the choice to have their children educated to high standards in English and 1 or more additional languages, including Native American languages, thereby increasing pupils' access to higher education and careers of their choice. Now, this connects to the concept of language as a right mentioned in Language as a Right and Resource by Garcia. It is a concept that discusses that people who have native languages that are not English should be proud of the native language that they have. And so this is the comparison between these two propositions, and that is all for today. Thank you.